Have you been abducted by the Greys and you don't know it? Or maybe you do. It has come to my attention that people all along the west coast of the United States, Mexico, Central America, Canada, have been in experiences with abductions. Not to say that other people in other areas have not experienced these abductions. I'm sure they have, but in my experience, it's these areas where these people have lived in this generation of the 1989 to the 1999 era of girls having remembrances of being taken by the Greys. So let me tell you who the Greys are first, if you don't know. And if you're watching this and you're like super new to spirituality, ground yourself, call on your spirit guides. This is deep information. It's important for you to know the truth, and that's why I'm speaking on it, because I want to give you the truth in a way that's easy for you to digest and also feel safe in knowing this information and to know how to protect yourself from things that are out there. So the Greys are interdimensional beings. They mostly exist on the astral realm, and they're malevolent. They do experiments on you against your free will. And when we're sleeping, most of the time, what happens with the Greys is that they paralyze you with fear. And they turn your own fear on you, and they stop you. They hold you down with fear, energetically. It's like black magic. And then they do the experiments. They harvest eggs. That's the story that I've been hearing mostly from women, is that they're harvesting their eggs. And so the Greys are doing this. I'm not necessarily sure why, what intention is behind it. My only intuitive hit is that they want to keep their race living. And so they're taking eggs from women down here so that they can mix their DNA with human DNA so that they can exist down here on this realm as well, because everyone wants to be on Earth, right? It's fun. There's lots of power here. So the Greys are multidimensional, as I said, and they don't have faces. They're long and skinny. They're creepy, they're kind of like the Stranger Things in the show, in the Netflix show. And yeah, as I talk about it, you feel their energy. They're not portraying love, but the one thing that takes their power away is you emanating your light and your love and sending that love to them and loving them anyway. It's a powerful experience to stay in love and to fight off abductions. And so what happens in an abduction, especially, and I experienced abductions. I was born in San Diego, and that's what I'm saying, on the west coast of these areas in the world, I've seen a lot of Grey abductions. And I recently, in my awakening, found out that the US government has made a deal with the Greys to take some of us and abduct us and experiment on us. And it's interesting that it's these powerful places. And so with my abduction experience, it's always been night terror. I've always been being chased. And also, more recently, when I took a pretty heavy dose of mushrooms with my man about 4 years ago in Los Angeles, I was on all fours, and the Greys were trying to abduct me then and take me and harvest my eggs. And it wasn't the mushrooms. The mushrooms were just showing me what was already happening. And it made a lot of sense for the time. And so I was able to ground down and protect myself with the earth and use my free will and tell them no and fight them and get away, right? This is the magical realm we're in. We're not only in this third dimensional realm, we're in this 4D, 5D stuff, and you got to travel through the 4D to get to the 5D, And so in my abduction experience, it's always been my love that took me back. And after that happened, it was Iris. Iris's unconditional love for me grounded me, and it was really powerful. So anyways, the Greys, they paralyze you with their own fear. So if you have night paralysis, if you wake up paralyzed, but you can see things happening, that's very common. I had a friend tell me a pretty uncommon story I've heard. And then I also had another friend tell me a pretty common story I've heard about abductions and what goes on there. So I want to give you some tools to protect yourself from this experience. And if you feel like you're having this experience, put in the comments so we can raise awareness to this, so that we can take our energy back, because we're powerful. That's why they are taking this against our will and like using it for whatever they want to use it. But that's not universal law. That's against the universal law of free will and freedom and choice. And once we're aware, we get to decide, and we can set boundaries and say no. So we're going to work with the Arcturians, and I'm actually just being guided to do a light language activation for anyone watching that has been abducted by the Greys. Because what happens is that they put seals on your DNA, and they make you forget who you are. They suppress your gifts. They give you feelings of hopelessness, depression, sadness, anger, fear, all things destructive. And they make you want to not be here on this planet. They're trying to control existence. And so they target certain people. They target sensitives. They target light workers. They target indigos, the powerful people that are aware of what's going on in this reality and will call it out. And so I'm just going to center myself, and I'm going to call in my Arcturian team. Thank you. And the Federation of Light is here as well, with the Palladians and the Syrians being represented. Thank you for your guidance and for your love. The Greys are definitely reptilian. So they already exist within us, and that's why they come to us. It's an initiation as well for shamans to experience galactic interaction that way. So if you've been abducted, you are a shaman. You have gifts that can transmute and heal this stuff, and that's why this gift was given to you. So I'm just going to speak this light language in. Hai kerpete sheke kerpeke se koroto hokai she perkerete ke se keropoto kai she kote peke tai to kai she kiripirikate se she ke kiripirikate te ke she se karaparatai se koropoto. We're sending healing to the wombs of the eggs that have been taken from the women watching. We're sending healing to the minds and the sacral area of the implants on the men. And we're sending healing to those who are also not identifying with any gender, where we can just balance those masculine and feminine polarities in all genders. So if you have had an experience with the Greys, allow this light language, allow this energy that's transmuting through this video right now to come into the spaces where it had paralyzed you and kept you in fear, and allow that fear to dissolve. That is what is holding you back from your true desires. That is what is causing you to not step fully into your mission and why you're here. If you're gonna ascend, numero uno rule of ascension is live your soul purpose. So I want you to remember that you have a choice and you have the power. So when you wake up and this is happening, you're paralyzed and you're aware of what's going on and you're trying to scream and no one can hear you, start saying affirmations in your head immediately. I'm safe. I'm loved. They can't exist when you're in love. They can only exist when you're in submission and fear. And so when you say affirmations, you're claiming your power back, and that's stopping the process. Second thing you can do, sleep with an obsidian or a black crystal under your pillow. We have onyx here. Here's a piece of obsidian. I'm hearing jasper as well. Okay, you don't want crystals by your bed like that are amethyst. Pretty much just amethyst is what I'm thinking, because it's a high level interdimensional crystal that opens up the fourth dimension and the fifth dimension and beyond, but you have to be grounded first before you open that crown, because you can get really confused and experience all types of stuff. So if you have questions, message me. There's also, you know, other people out there that talk about galactic beings and what I'm talking about. I'll be sure to get you guys some references if I can't answer your questions. So much love to you guys. Thanks for letting me share this healing with you. Bye.